Up, up. We up. We up. We up. We up. We up. And it's live. Not now, speaker. All right, family. Here we go. Giving people time to catch up. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, family. Y'all know how it go. I'm sorry. Oh, Mr. Diddy. I'm sorry. I'm going to have this adjusted, but we're going to deal with it for the night. Y'all get the best idea. It sounded horrible. We done blew the speaker. Only on Gye-Nyame Journey can you blow a speaker. We ain't even used it for a whole year. Alright. They went out. Text is going out. Get your water, get your 32s, get your ounces in. Gather around, family, gather around. It's time for us to chop it up. Lines are open. Lines are open. Lines are open. Oh, I have to apologize for the sound, family. I need to go back and make sure because one of my texts ain't go out. Oh, they ain't go out. What's going on? There we go. Alright. Gotta make sure I get the G&J family up. Right? Family. That's what we building. Oh my God. Get your ounces, family. Get your ounces. Call lines are open. You know how we do it at Gye-Nyame Journey. We got a lot of ground to cover tonight. We gotta hit some folk tales. We gotta hit the tribal quotes. You know what I'm saying? We got to let the people know what's going on out there. We got to let the people know what we stand for. Tribe above. Tribe above fuckery. How about that? Tribe above madness. Tribe above sickness. Got 3 people in the house. Go up. Let me see who in the house. Let me see who in the house. Because them lines is about to be open. And we want to make sure that the people know who out there. I'm understanding. My brother Dame Lee is in town. I know brother Dame is in town. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it's about to go down. I don't know if he's going to be on this show. But me and Dame going to do something together. Like me and Shaka do something together when we come together, family. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all need to know that what we are building is national. Understand it? It's national. You know what I'm saying? We have roots and branches all over the country. And we are slowly but surely growing. Right? So this is not a movement isolated to Columbus. You know what I'm saying? We got family. We just found out we got family right now in Maryland, right now in New York, right now in Detroit, right now in New Jersey, right now in California, We reaching overseas. We trying to get some regular listeners in Ghana, but I got to figure out what time it is in Ghana. You know what I'm saying? So that we can go and get our listeners up in there. Who is in Gye-Nyame now? It says, I'm here. You got to put your name, because when you post up under Gye-Nyame, I don't know who it is. All I know is that it's Gye-Nyame, but Gye-Nyame is represented. You know what I'm saying? So here, I'm going to open these lines up so that y'all can hear that the lines are opened up. And we're going to get right into it, because we got a lot of ground to cover in a couple of minutes. Because, you know, I got to be at the adventure tomorrow morning. We got to be at the adventure tomorrow morning. CeeLo is in the house. I see you. And as usual, family. As usual, I got to let you know that you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Let's try that again. Okay. You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Sound like something caught in the throat. Let me try that again. You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. I must have really blew my damn speaker. This is a Heart of a Simple production, and right now it's Tribal Quotes.
When we strive to block your old paradigm.
Say that louder, baby.
When we strive to block your old paradigm.
I think it might have been the explosion that blew out the speaker, but hey, such is life.
You got to wet.
Such is life, right? So, right now, Sister Navita's at the helm of the Gye-Nyame Journey. So, hey, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. Straight tribe building. Tribes, families move into tribes. Tribes move into communities. Community moves into cities. Cities moves into states. States move into nations. We on our way. All right, so now real quick, I need to let you know on May 19th, family, we will be having the Malcolm X Festival at 3500 Refugee Road. We are now looking for vendors. CeeLo, I got your vendor request already. You already locked in. I got you. Right? We will be sending out the vendor forms. I'm waiting for all of the vendors, all of the people that are going to settle on being vendors. We're going to send it out. Right? We are halfway there, family. We are halfway there with our vendors. Right? So I'm not telling you to stop, but I'm just saying we halfway there with our vendors. The fundraising is on its way. The fundraiser is on the rise. So y'all be looking for a link that I'm going to post up so that those of you that want to donate to our efforts, by all means, you will be able to do so. All right? By all means, you'll be able to do so. I just want to make sure that the site is mobile friendly before I put it out there, because the majority of the family is not doing laptops. Y'all not doing desktops. Y'all doing cell phones. So I want to make sure that wherever I send you is mobile friendly. So by tomorrow morning, I will have a place where I can send you. All right? But family, when you make the donation or your investment, make sure that you mark Malcolm X Festival on there, so that we can make sure we know and give you credit for what you do. I need y'all to understand, we have a possible newsletter that will be being dropped. I have to sit down and talk with my fam to see, and it probably may be coming out maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, maybe once a week. I don't know, depending on the demand for the newsletter, because we got something growing here. So all we gotta do is nurture it. All we gotta do is provide it with the fertilizer, and provide it with the water, and provide it with the maintenance, so that we can make sure that it grows. So now, first things first, since we didn't get a chance to cover it last night, we have the eagle and the jackdaw. An eagle flying down from his perch on a lofty rock seized upon a lamb and carried him aloft in his talons. A jackdaw who witnessed the capture of the lamb was stirred with envy and determined to emulate the strength and flight of the eagle. He flew around with a great whir of his wings and settled upon a large ram, with the intention of carrying him off, but his claws became entangled in the ram's fleece, and he was not able to release himself. Although he fluttered with his feathers as much as he could, the shepherd, seeing what had happened, ran up and caught him. He at once clipped the jackdaw's wings, and taking him home at night, gave him to his children. On their saying, "Father, what kind of bird is it?" He replied, "To my certain knowledge, he is a dog, but he would like you to think an eagle." Before we even get into the Proverbs, family, this right here, like I said, man, listen, I don't select these. I selected them years ago, and I'm going in order. We didn't cover this on Tuesday, but I want you to listen to this story. And this is my take. If you have a different take, let me know. I'm going to read it again so that y'all can post up your ideas, your comments, your discussion points on the story. All right? So here we go. The eagle and the jackdaw. An eagle, flying down from his perch on a lofty rock, seized upon a lamb and carried him aloft in his talons. A jackdaw who witnessed the capture of the lamb was stirred with envy and determined to emulate the strength and flight of the eagle. He flew around with a great whir of his wings and settled upon a large ram, with the intention of carrying him off. But his claws became entangled in the ram's fleece, and he was not able to release himself. Although he fluttered with his feathers as much as he could, the shepherd, seeing what had happened, ran up and caught him. He at once clipped the jackdaw's wings, and taking him home at night, gave him to his children on their saying, "Father, what kind of bird is it?" He replied, "To my certain knowledge, he is a dog, but he would like you to think of him as an eagle." Somebody just joined me. Who's this on the line? Uh-oh, Lady J is on the line. Uh-oh. What's going on, Lady J?
What's up?
You got some news for the people before we jump off into this? Because I got to cover the folktale from Coochie Chagalia, as well as the Proverbs for the day.
No, I don't have a word right at this point. I was going to ask that you reread your...
No problem. No problem. Here we go. It's called The Eagle and the Jackdaw. I know you by your computer, so you're going to look it up because you know, I read too slow.
The eagle and the what?
Jackdaw. Jackdaw. It's a small bird. An eagle, flying down from his perch on a lofty rock, seized upon a lamb and carried him aloft in his talons. A jackdaw who witnessed the capture of the lamb was stirred with envy and determined to emulate the strength and the flight of the eagle. He flew around with a great whir of his wings and settled upon a large ram, with the intentions of carrying him off. But his claws became entangled in the ram's fleece, and he was not able to release himself. Although he fluttered with all his feathers and all his might as much as he could, the shepherd, seeing what had happened, ran up and caught him. He at once clipped the jackdaw's wings, and taking him home at night, gave him to his children. On their saying, "Father, what kind of bird is it?" He replied, "To my certain knowledge, it is a jackdaw, but he would like you to think he is an eagle." Did you get it?
Yeah, I'm reading it now.
See, I told you I read too slow for her. Right? So,
No.
So, you want me to go or you want to go?
You can go.
All right. This is an example of biting off more than you can chew. The jackdaw, y'all see I got every now and then you got to release the pressure on your bottoms. The jackdaw, the jackdaw saw an eagle. Now they both birds, but they're different types of birds. A jackdaw may not even, I'm not familiar with the jackdaw, but it's a lot smaller than the eagle. Matter of fact, let's just do this. Let me look up jackdaw so we could be, because I want to be precise. Jackdaw. we living in such a modern time that now I could just a jackdaw, small gray-headed crow that typically nests in tall buildings and chimneys, noted for its inquisitiveness. So it's sort of like a crow, dark and gray. And it's a bird that's not necessarily a bird of prey. And this bird saw another bird like himself do something that stirred up envy in him. So the jackdaw got upset because he was watching another bird such as himself.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on, Tim. Who did you compare this bird to?
Which one? The jackdaw?
The jackdaw, though. Who you said he's like a what?
I don't know. You called me off guard. I don't know what. Go ahead. Remind me what.
I just want to make sure, because it sounds like you said he looked like a crow.
He is. They say a jackdaw, a small gray-headed crow that typically nests in a tall building. So it is a crow. It's a small bird.
But a very, like a midget.
Right. It's very little.
Yeah,
and
very little. Yep.
And it saw the eagle. But the eagle, see, because we got to understand, because we're in the same family, because a lot of us experience this, because we're in the same family, it doesn't necessarily mean that we all going to have the same skills. It doesn't mean that we all going to be able to do things at the same levels. Some of us may be born a little bit more talented in music and may have a beautiful singing voice. And some of us may be more athletic, or some of us may be more mathematical, or some of us may gravitate towards the sciences. But we all belong to a similar family. This bird saw another bird like himself in the bird family do something that stirred envy up in him. And this jackdaw wanted to prove. Because the eagle wasn't watching him. The eagle swooped down, took a ram, and kept going. That ram is dinner now. The jackdaw swooped down and tried to do the exact same thing. And ended up trapping himself within the wool of the ram. First off, the ram is not on his regular diet. The ram is much too big for him to even try to lift up. And then on top of that, the jackdaw didn't even consider the fact that his claws could get caught in the ram's hair. Hence, the jackdaw bit off more than he could chew. The jackdaw moved out of his lane. You know how we say nowadays, you know what I'm saying, get in where you fit in, stay in your lane. The jackdaw moved out of his lane. And in moving out of his lane, he eventually became a plaything for the children of the owner of the ram. He became a slave because he bit off more than he could chew. He thought he had capabilities that he didn't have. He overestimated his skill level. His self-esteem was too high in the wrong area. As a jackdaw, his self-esteem would have been perfect for him swooping down grabbing a worm, or for him swooping down on some carrion, a dead animal. You know what I'm saying? For those, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what crows and ravens eat. They eat a lot of dead stuff, or they grab little things. But no, this jackdaw wanted to be bigger and felt that he had something to prove. And what was worse was he thought he had to prove it to himself. So he swooped down trying to imitate a bigger bird and ended up getting caught. Not only did he get caught, his wings got clipped, which means that as long as they keep those wings clipped, as long as they pay attention to that, he's stuck on the ground now. He's a plaything for the owner of the sheep's children. He's in bondage. And many of us end up in bondage-like situations because we bite off more than we can chew. Damn, Hot Tim. I gotta think about that shit. Damn. I'm the jackdaw. And sometimes I'm the eagle. All right, family. Go ahead, Lady J. It's on you now. So what you gonna do? Lady J, you still there? Go ahead.
I don't think that there's anything I can add to that. because I feel like you just brought the point home with just saying that a lot of us bite off more than we can chew. Um, or, yeah, I think that about sums it up.
So family,
For me, at least.
family, we need to learn how to find our lane and master our lane. Remember, we come from a culture of master. We come from a culture of mastery, right? We realize that everything requires us to put some time and effort in it. In Gye-Nyame, we talk about honor, loyalty, and sacrifice. Not just to each other, but to our craft and to our skill. I have to become the best at what I do. This is how we grow as an individual, and this is how we grow as a group, and this is how we grow as a people. What start to happen...
Now, I'm sorry, Hakim. I do want to say I agree totally for 110% with what you just said, because I feel like that's one of the issues that I have with the community, the conscious community, the enlightened community, whatever we want to call them, is that it seems like people want to perfect everything instead of becoming masters and focusing on what you do well and staying in your lane. You be all over the place. So now, like you said, your energy, you don't have enough energy to get to one area, so you kind of give part energy to everything, right?
Right.
And you could have got with some folks that were masters in that area, and you could, perfected your craft, got with someone else who perfected their craft, and then you worked together. I don't see a lot of that. I see people that want to do everything. They want to do everything instead of, building that unity.
Because like, for example, in Gye-Nyame, we talk about the number system. The number one is interdependence. That is our motto for unity, interdependence, which means that each of us has our skill, right? And each of us do what we are good at. We only start having problems when everybody or when one person is trying to do everything. You know what I'm saying? When, for example, when something is assigned with the fam, we handle it. Whether we taking kids to Simba, whether we doing a camping trip, whether, you know what I'm saying? Once you get your thing, that's your thing. It ain't Brother Hatim's job to oversee you doing it's when it's time to eat, nigga, you better have what you prepared ready for the table. And then let's even go deeper. Let's say you fall short. Then that's when we all could come together and we can help make up what you might have fell on. That's unity. Working as one. Not being exactly alike, because some of us, we want this unity where we all robots and we all operate in the same fashion. No. Communities are built up on mastery. Not on jack of all trades. You can't build community on jack of all trades. You need to build community on masters. Why? Because masters produce stuff that other people find of value, and they are able to exchange from one master to another. So one master might make shoes, the other master make clothes. They can exchange, or they can have somebody in the middle that is a master of exchange who have master exchange, and it could be like, look, those sandals are worth 3 of these, and that outfit is worth 4 of these. So you give them the sandals and one of these, and y'all straight. But no, we want to master everything. We believe that we have to master everything, and that's part of that slave mentality. Because the slave had to be a master of everything. Because you can't not allow the slave to become a master. Because then you're violating the rules of slavery. You know what I'm saying? If you become a master, or if I allow you to feel that you're a master at what you do, how can I control you? A master. A master. You know what I'm saying? This is what we need to strive for in our community. This is what's missing. You know what I'm saying? We got all these jacks and many trades, man. So everybody know everything. So you can't tell nobody nothing. How the fuck we supposed to build? How the fuck we supposed to move to the next level when everybody is good at everything? No, we need focus. This is why when you go to college, they ask you, what's your major? What's your major? And I always go back to my story in Ghana. My wife's uncle asked me when he first met me, what's your major? And I said, dude, I'm not in college. He said, no, I'm not talking about a major in school. I'm talking about a major in life. This folktale is about a major, finding your major. Because the jackdaw didn't have a major, the jackdaw ended up becoming a plaything for others. The jackdaw gave up his freedom. So we want to get free. We got to start pushing our children towards mastery. You know what I'm saying? And that might take a while because right now, you know what I'm saying, we fall into the trap of looking at children and being like, oh, they can be anything that they want to be. But they might not have the proclivity or the skill level to be able to do anything. You might need to look at what they're good at and encourage them to get good at that. And then from that one little thing that they master, a whole different level of growth may take place. You know what I'm saying? I let Cleve jump from this to this to this. I let my kids jump from this to this to this to this to this to this. So that when they find something that they are good, that makes their heart sing. You know what I'm saying? Not what makes their dad proud. See, this is another reason I never became one of them sports fathers. Because I'm not going to make Cleve play sports. I'm not going to make my girls cheer. I'm not going to make them do none of that. Because I want them to do it because they love it. Not because they think they're making me happy. Because that's what makes the great. They in love with what they do. The jackdaw wasn't in love with being a jackdaw. He wanted to be an eagle. And many of us are in the same position as a jackdaw. We're not in love being the jackdaw. We want to be the eagle. I don't want to be a dead jackdaw to death. But, you know, I think I covered that one. Unless you got something else to add, we're going to move to the folktales, Lady J.
No, I just was going to say, I just want to remind you that your daughter wants to be a cheerleader, so you should probably allow her to cheer this year and support that.
She wanted to run track too. She wanted to run track too until she did one lap around the building and came into the building breathing hard and sat down at the desk. Yeah, hey, I never stopped her from trying out. I'm just saying, but y'all be charging so much. Cheerleading, I might as well go and put her in a football uniform.
The lies.
I might as well put her. And y'all more competitive than the boys. So I don't know, man. I mean, but really, in all seriousness, if Gina want to cheer, because Sasha coming too. And both of them doing splits and practicing dance moves. So, I mean, it's a good chance. Look, Sasha gone. I mentioned it. Sasha jumped up in my face and started doing dance moves. And if they want to do that, by all means, you know what I'm saying? You got this show to come back and you just remember which one it is. Or you could throw it up in my face and say they want to do it. So, you know, and I also want to plug them into African dance as well. You know what I'm saying? So that they can, you know, like I said, movement. That's one of the major pieces to staying healthy. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Mastery is something that we need to move in. And as far as governing ourselves as a people, you got to have masters at that. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, we got novices. People, I mean, it's like, you know, because people be looking at me like I'm crazy. Nation building. What's nation building? Explain what nation building is. You know what I'm saying? Tell them what I've been doing. And then some people want to kind of treat me like I'm new at this shit. I've been doing this shit for years. I'm telling you, listen. This is part of what I do. Right here. Talking to y'all. Like Lady J, like my Pisces sister. This is what we do. You understand what I'm saying? We're able to talk to people. We're able to make shit happen with our voice. As well as get out there and do the work. Right? But then when you run into people that want to kind of, like you don't know what you're doing. This is what I do. This is what I do. For years. Whether it's Simba, whether it's Gye-Nyame, I've been doing this.
That's kind of where I am, and I stand that way with like, especially like with my coworkers. Some people think that people do things for themselves, right?
Right.
Or for their own recognition.
Right.
And so what I have to tell people, and something that really brought it home for me, was that I was in church one Sunday and we had a visiting pastor, and this pastor was talking about how do you know like that you're great. And it wasn't about what you did, it was about what you put someone else in a position to do. Right? So you can't really if you're not leaving a legacy, if you haven't passed the torch to someone, if you haven't groomed someone to be just as great as you see what I'm saying?
Right.
You're really not great. You're really not great. And so I constantly, I get the side eyes, and I get people that say things to, just little slight comments, and then I have to rebut, and I have to say, I do this for the glory of God. Right? I do this for my universe. I do this to get back, reap benefits from my universe, not for any individual to recognize me. You know what I'm saying? Not for you guys, but for the legacy, for the fact that these kids will remember some of these things. This is going to change someone's life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But people be so thinking that the things that you do are for you, and they don't understand you're doing it for the next generation. You're doing it for those who, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about.
That's what makes you an eagle. And what you experience is jackdaws wanting to be you because they can't understand why you're happy to be where you are. And that makes them mad. You see, because in our education system, one of the major things that we took out is like, because Kennedy said, it's not what your country can do for you, but what you could do for your country. You know what I'm saying? See, because now when it comes to, when you look at great organizations, when you look at great peoples, or throughout history, what you start running into is you get a group of people who first provide security. They provide safety for their members. And from that safety, individuals are able to prosper because they're able to make mistakes. Because they know somebody got their back, so they become vulnerable. And when they become vulnerable, it opens them up to new ideas and greater things. If you're not vulnerable, you can't create nothing new. If you're comfortable, more than likely you're not going to be able to create. So you got to put yourself in a vulnerable position. So in a tribe, in a business, in a community, you have to have that security, that safety where a person feels safe enough to expose themselves and become vulnerable. And once you become vulnerable, what happens is the next step is that a person moves into their nia, which is their purpose. But this is what differs from what we're being taught. The purpose is not for themselves. The purpose is for the elevation of the rest of the group.
You know what, Hatim? I was just explaining to someone something that you taught me so long ago that made so much sense to me, but I don't often get time to get an opportunity to share it. But I was having a conversation with someone who was not knowledgeable about Kwanzaa or about those 7 principles. I'm not even going to say Kwanzaa because it wasn't about Kwanzaa. It was about the Nguzo Saba. And so I began explaining this to someone, and I had to explain it to them the way you explained it to me several years ago, which is that it actually goes in reverse. Right?
Right.
So I have to start with...
That's a Gye-Nyame secret, right? Girl. Yeah, but that's a Gye-Nyame secret. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I didn't share that with someone the other day because they didn't have an understanding of the Nguzo Saba, and so that was the best way that I could explain it to them and link it to nation building. How does this linked to nation, but because I said something about those principles, and the person said, "Oh, well, I'm not religious." I'm like, religious? What do they have to do with the Nguzo? You see what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. See now, she brought up a point. Let me share it with the family, right? So in our book called The Player's Pyramid, right? You know, we got handbooks. You know, like I said, this is what I do. In the Player's Pyramid, what we do is we flip the Nguzo Saba upside down, and we move through the Nguzo Saba from the bottom to the top. So the first principle that we teach people how to practice in Gye-Nyame is faith, because all the other principles are built upon faith. Once you master faith, then the next step is creativity, because once you have faith in yourself, once you have faith in the people around you, once you have the faith that you're safe, creativity is going to flow up out of you. After the creativity is able to flow out of you, then not only will you find your purpose, you will help other people find their purpose. Once the purpose starts flowing out, then it's going to be easy for y'all to do cooperative economics. Because now, with everybody being on purpose, all of your collective resources is going to come out. So y'all are going to be able to combine those resources, and those resources will hold you together. And from there, you'll be able to move into collective work and responsibility. Because now y'all got something to work with. Not just dreams and ideas, but actual resources. And from there, you'll be able to move into self-determination. Because now you got the group working, and because y'all working together, y'all got this power, and now you got a determination not only coming from one individual, but coming from the group. And from there, unity emerges. And when unity or Moja, which we call the Moja force, is working in the group, it ain't shit that can stop it. Don't matter how big it is. You look at legal organizations, you look at the best legal organizations, you look at all of them. When they working through it like that, that's when it becomes power. That's why, for us, the Nguzo Saba is structured in a pyramid. Period. The crowning point on that pyramid is a moja. But you don't start with a moja. This is where most people go wrong. You can't have a moja without faith. You can't. Because in order for us to work together, I got to have faith in you. I got to know you got my back. This is why I got brothers right now where I could fall out with, I could do all types. We could stay up late at night, get drunk, and cuss each other out and be up in the morning doing what the fuck we supposed to do. Because we got faith, nigga. I feel safe enough to be up here arguing with you. Because I know that you know me and you know my heart and I know your heart, so we can fall out. You understand what I'm saying? So this is where a lot of organizations fall off, because they trying to do the unity first, when in fact the first principle we need to be working on is having faith in ourselves. And once I have faith in me, because all of the principles start from you and they move out. So when organizations start,
not only organizations, you can apply that to the movement, period. The movement is fighting because everybody's trying to start with unity first. And it's impossible to get us all on one page because of our beliefs, because of our own ideology. And so that's why it's fighting. It's not moving. We always got to argue about religion and argue about faith and argue about this and argue about that. If we started with that faith and we moved our way up, unity would be much more attainable.
A whole lot more, because it's like this. When you are in battle, matter of fact, let me a proverb. It is better to be a warrior in a garden rather than being a gardener in a war. Why? Because a war, it is better to be a warrior in a garden rather than be a gardener in a war. See, because as a warrior, I could do anything. As a warrior, I have confidence in myself. I have confidence in my skill. So if I choose to go in a garden and be a farmer, I could be a farmer. But if a war comes, but in fact, according to the Gye-Nyame philosophy, farming is war. When a true conflict comes between me and another individual, or me and another group, or me and my family and another group, I can have the confidence in myself to translate my skills on the battlefield. But if I'm only a gardener and I have to go to the battlefield, the only thing I know is gardening. So I'm liable to get fucked up. But we was just showed up. We're sharing the mic right now with Brother Shaka Hasbury. Speaking of that, where is it at? I'm still holding this. I'm thinking about keeping this all the way to the Malcolm X Festival and possibly raffling this off. Because it's such a beautiful bottle. And I think it would be such a, you laughing, I think it would be such a waste for me to open this when we have a beautiful festival coming up. And I think that the person that might win this in the raffle may need it more than me. And then on top of that, they will be able to be introduced to one of the products coming directly from our family. So I'm going to hold on to it.
What?
I'm going to do a fancy bottle myself. But what's up, Brother Shaka?
Hi, Shaka.
How y'all doing?
We doing good, brother. We doing good. So now what we're going to do, we're going to move into the Proverbs because believe it or not, we ain't even hit the Proverbs yet. So let me read the Proverbs and then we're going to get into that discussion. We on day 23. For those that want to support the journey, you go to Gye-Nyamejourney.com, and if you look in the top, I don't know what those things are called. If you look on the top of the screen, it has the title of each one of the books. You can click on this and you can get this book directly, or like I said, if you don't have the dough, you know what I'm saying, I'll hook you up. You know what I'm saying? We can find a way for you to give what you can because it's time for us to start moving, family. Because I got some shit in the works right now that's just ridiculous, family. It's about to get real big around here real soon. So, family, we're gonna need your help. Not only do we got the Malcolm X Festival going on, we got a camping trip coming up after that. Then we got another festival after that. Then we got another festival after that. Then we're going to work it all the way around the Kwanzaa. We're going to have another camping trip after those next two festivals. I mean, I'm just saying, we're trying to do a lot of shit. And we're going to need the family's cooperation in order to get it done. And we're going to need some of y'all participation. All right, so here we go. Day 23. Brother Allende, shouts out to Brother Allende. Never only a gardener, when you're cultivating land, you have to protect your crops, right? Now, but check this out. This is what's dope about that. Let's say you just a gardener, right? You need.
Is Allende listening?
Is Allende what?
Is Allende listening? You just gave a shout out to him.
Yep, you listening. I just read his thing. He said, never only a gardener, when you're cultivating land, you have to protect your crops. So Allende is listening. Allende, as well as Sister Jill, Sister CeeLo, Elder Alona,
I want to give a shout out.
And Sister
I want to give
Navita.
a shout out to Allende.
Okay, okay. Allende, you got a shout out. We're gonna give you a shout out. Hold on. So Brother Allende just got a shout out. I won't even sprinkle no hate on that. I won't even sprinkle no hate. I ain't gonna do it. Here we go. This one is from a guy by the name of Dogen. I think he was a Zen priest. If you cannot find the truth right where you are, where else do you expect to find it?
Say it one more time.
I'm sorry, the ancestors like that one. If you cannot find the truth right where you are, where else do you expect to find it? Dang.
And you said the truth. Truth?
Yup, Truth. If you can't find the truth right where you are, where else do you expect to find it?
Ashe.
Ah, damn, right?
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Right? Them Zen monks don't be playing. Next one.
It makes me okay.
Next one. Hold the thought. If you want to do number one, I'm going to let you pick the first one. But listen, because this fire this week. Heaven is under our feet as well as over our heads. Once again, heaven is under our feet as well as over our heads. That's Henry David Thoreau. Diamonds are precious everywhere you find them, family. Last one, from Kenya. A thorn which one has pricked oneself of one's own accord does not pain. A thorn which one has pricked oneself of one's own accord does not pain. Y'all got that one? I'm going to say the lightning strike for that one. I'm going to say the lightning strike for that one. Because that one is a discussion starter. Right?
Yeah, we should start there.
All right. So, Shaka, you still there? I think he's still there. A thorn with which one has pricked oneself of one's own accord does not pain. That's from Kenya. Who want to start?
I'll start. So that proverb reminds me of what I learned when I discovered energy, or learned the basics of spirituality, the basics of the universe just being karma, right? What you put out into the universe. So what I began to realize is that when I made decisions, once I became aware of how my words, my energy, my decisions kind of controlled my universe, what I did was I could pick and choose. If I'm going to do something that's unrighteous, it's not right, I know what the consequence is going to be. And that way, me knowing that there's going to be a consequence, me knowing that I'm going to get that, whether it's just cursing someone, it could be something simple, cursing someone, right?
Right.
And when I say curse words, I think of like curses. You see what I'm saying?
Word.
Like, not just a cuss word, a curse. You put a curse on someone with your words sometimes. And so when I realized that, when I make decisions like, okay, this really ain't righteous, this ain't right, you know what I'm saying? But I got to do what I got to do. I'm ready to deal with my consequence, and I can handle that consequence a lot better. Before, when I didn't understand energy, when I didn't understand karma, I couldn't take those bad times. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I couldn't take those failures. I couldn't deal with those things. But once I began to control my universe, right, and I could control it with my words, with my actions. Then I began to be able to say, okay, if I do this, I know this is going to happen, and I'm okay with it. So when it comes, it don't hurt. It ain't as bad. I already knew what was coming.
And say that it ain't as bad. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Because it's sort of like preparing yourself for sports. Like all season in football, somebody could hit me in a certain way, and I might be hurt because I'm kind of surprised. But on the football field, an individual could take a lot of punishment because he has put himself in that position and he has chosen to be there. He has chosen the thorn. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, with the cursing, you choose the thorn. So it's a big difference when you pick the thorn rather than the thorn just being pushed upon you. You know what I'm saying? It's like my children looked at my tattoos and be like, "Daddy, does a tattoo hurt?" And it's kind of hard to answer the question, because if I'm just being pricked with a pin in a regular way, yeah, that shit hurts. But because I wanted the tattoo, because I wanted to remember that moment, because I wanted to remember what the tattoo was doing, because I chose the thorn, it didn't hurt as much. You know what I'm saying? as you said, I mean, because you put it beautifully, we get to control, we get to have an influence on our universe with our mind. So I know that everything I'm going to do, I want to get in shape. So when you really make up in your mind you're going to get in shape, the pain after the workout ain't that bad. When you decide that you're going to pass and you decide you're going to cut out on food, the pain from it don't bother you that much. Like I told my kids, I said, look, how long are you supposed to be able to live without food? They say about 2 weeks. So how long are you supposed to be able to live without water? 3 days. So I say, if you don't go beyond 14 days without eating, you're supposed to die, right? And if you go over 3 days without drinking water, you're supposed to die, right? I did both of those. I chose my thorn. Fasting is a thorn. Being righteous and living your life according to the Guza Saba is a thorn. Following the laws of Ma'at is a thorn. Being a good Christian is a thorn. And we all get to choose how we gonna live, because you can't escape pain. See, some of us think that because, this is one of the issues that I run into with my kids and their parents, because I'm trying to explain life to them. They think that just because their child did the right thing, that their child should not suffer any consequences. And I'm like, yo, I hear you. But name somebody in history that did the right thing that didn't suffer pain, especially coming from the group that we come from.
It's called sacrifices, correct?
Huh?
Is it something like a sacrifice?
Oh shit! It is definitely. It's a sacrifice. See, when you
it's a sacrifice.
Because when you pick the thorn, what does the thorn do? It causes suffering. It causes pain. Any major decision you make in your life is going to cause suffering and pain, even if it's a good decision. Like, for example, Lady J, you was born to be a teacher. I seen you in the classroom. I seen you control classes where students would leave your class, go across the hall, and raise hell. Then they come back to your class and they straight. I done seen it. You was born for this. But in order for you to get to where you were able to get in front of that class, you had to suffer pain. You had to pick the thorn. You picked the thorn. So you was able to make it through. As a matter of fact, you started liking the thorn a little bit.
But you that also goes with, it's the same thing with, I tell people about the price, the ways that you get paid to teach, right? Mm-hmm. So the ways you get paid. So when like you said, when I chose to be a teacher, I chose a form, period, right? And I had to make sacrifices. I was going to have to sacrifice. And part of that was income. I know damn well I'm never going to be rich, right? Not being a teacher, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's just not one of those professions. So I had to make a sacrifice to say, I can live as a minimalist, right? Or something like that. I can sacrifice to do this job, and why can I do that? Because this is what my people need, right?
I got you.
What does my community need? What does my people need? What's going to get us to that next level? We have to have educators that look like our children, who can teach them, who they can learn from, who can relate to them. We have to have that. And so, and when I'm struggling and I'm looking at my bank account and I'm trying to rob Peter to pay Paul, I know that I picked this. I chose this thorn. I could have chose something else. I had full God.
Hold on.
I could have did something else.
And Peter knocking at the damn door. You right. Peter calling you on the phone. You robbed Peter to pay Paul, and Peter at the door. Brother Allende say that sounds like some woman shit. Black men prick ourselves out of sacrifice with no reward. He's starting some shit. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like family. We got to get.
Like he don't want that.
He ain't never been on the show with you, Lady J. I'm just so I'm asking you to give him a pass this time. You know what I'm saying? Because you can feel free to call in and talk that shit out here today. 614-556-4535. Let me post that up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna post. It's the same number we just had the conference call on a couple minutes ago. Shaka, what you doing? You sleep over there? What you doing? Shaka done fell asleep on us, family. Shaka done fell asleep on us. Let's give him. I do the sleeping on the show, Shaka. You don't do the sleeping on the show. I'm the sleeper. You the singer. Wake your ass up. All right. I hear they say fuck money. Spiritual currency is the shit.
I say.
Well,
that's why that's my friend.
Okay.
That's why that's my friend.
Spiritual currency don't spend that well in my house. I mean, sometimes, you know, but you know, I can't keep my wife happy with spiritual currency all the time. I need some, you know what I'm saying? Need some dividends. You know what I'm saying? You know. But hey, I hear y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I applaud y'all in y'all efforts to get all the spiritual currency y'all need. Alright? But I'm gonna try to make sure we got some cash that we can put in our tribe's coffers, because we need money in our coffers. My fault, we need resources. So that spiritual currency does play a major part in that. I agree. I have to agree. So yeah, but Shaka done went to sleep on it. I'm kind of hurt. That's cool. All right, here we go. Which one you want to go? 1 or 2? We done killed that one. 1 or 2?
One.
Uh-oh. This one is by Dogan. If you cannot find the truth right where you are, where else do you expect to find it?
We're going to change those words up a little bit.
Handle your business. Do your thing.
If you cannot find God where you are, what did you say?
Where else do you expect to find it?
Where
or him,
else do you
or her?
expect to find God? It's all in us.
Oh my God! See, go ahead. It's your turn. My fault.
Yeah, it's just all in us. It's already with us. You know what I'm saying? I think that when I say things, that sometimes when I tell people you are a God, or I tell them I'm a God, right? It sounds like I'm being
boastful, braggadocious,
boastful.
vain.
Yeah, but I'm like if you carry yourself as such, you are. That's what you are. Like you have the power. Just and it's just so awesome. You know, and I tell people, just like when in the Bible, it says that, you know, everything was created through words, right?
Right.
And if I am created from God, and God used words, and I'm, you know what I'm saying, He created me, that would make Him my, or not Him, but God my Father. And so I'm just like, why wouldn't you believe you're a God? Why you don't think you're a creator? You don't see the innovativeness that we have with our creations, our the things that we have created, right? And then the power of the tongue. You speak things into existence. You can speak things into existence. And so once you realize, you know, once you know that God is with you, right? You don't need to search anymore. And then the same thing goes with the truth, right? We know the truth. Sometimes we try to convince ourselves of other things, so we say them out loud to other people. But regardless of that, you know the truth. You already know the truth.
And you spend your whole life chasing it.
You feel the truth?
I said some people spend their whole life chasing it, only to find out that the truth was right there all the time. Many of us live our lives in denial of the truth. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's motherfuckers that be like, well, I'm a crackhead because I'm in Columbus. And they go to Detroit and do the same shit. Then they move to Chicago and do the same shit. And it's like you got a lot of people running around blaming the world for the truth. when in fact
I'm
you are.
gonna tell you something else.
Go ahead.
I shouldn't say because I might offend someone. But there's some people convincing themselves that they're something that they're not, and other people letting them get away with it. And I just watch what's going on in society, and my jaw just drops, so that my chin hits my chest. That's how appalled I am by the foolishness, right?
It's called
by
fuckery.
The foolishness.
You can't say it. I said it for you. It's called fuckery.
Yeah, it is. And I watch it, and I watch people make excuses and promote this agenda. And I'm just like, why can't we just be honest about who people are? Who are we trying to convince? It's just crazy. But I'm not going to go any deeper than that.
It's not politically correct, Lady J. We gotta be politically correct. It's sort of like, I mean, I don't know. You say some stuff and people, like you said, people get offended because a lot of people don't want to see, because even though you stand, so as a matter of fact, some people don't like the truth. We can't, you know what I'm saying?
I'm offended that you feel that way.
Oh, you woke up now? You woke up?
I had to take the other live.
Well, let me be clear with you, sir. On this show, I do all the sleeping. You got your duties. Like we just was talking about mastery. I have mastered the art of sleep. I don't need you trying to get in on my hustle. All right? So, no, better yet, what I'm going to do is I'm about to sing a song. How would you feel about that?
Oh, yeah, Nipsey Russell.
Oh, okay. He's going to call me Nipsey. Slide some more to me. Let it dribble down your spine. Go ahead, Shaka.
Oh man, I'm just listening.
And you said you were appalled someone feels that way? Is that what you said, Shaka? Or did you forget because you were just waking up out your slumber?
Yeah, no. I was saying to him that I'm offended that you feel that way about people that feel that way because they're sensitive and they feel that way about the truth.
Can't stand
I'm
truth.
offended.
They can't stand truth, brother. You know they can't stand truth. You know what I'm saying?
You've always been hater number one in my book.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I strive. I strive to blow up old paradigms. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? I strive. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's like, see, and this is what's crazy, right? Because this is how we labeled it. You know what I'm saying? You tell the truth, motherfuckers call you a hater. You know what I'm saying, dude? That shit ain't right. Oh, man, stop hating. Why you always hating? Like, what? I'm hating? Because you know what I'm saying? For real?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For real? Is that hate? Wow.
You know, I would tell my son something, and he'll tell me I'm hating.
Right.
Like, and I'm telling him something that is true. You know what I'm saying? Something that I've already experienced, something I'm knowledgeable about. I'm just kind of forewarning him before he gets there. And I just have to tell him, like, what would I get from hating on you? Your success is my success. You are me, right? So I want you to be all you can be because that makes me even greater and better. You see what I'm saying? Like, what would I get from that?
I don't know what you haters get. You know, I don't get nothing. I hate all the time. I'm an equal opportunity hater. You know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you's a hater. You's a hater.
I ain't got no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? I can't even help it. My sister called me. That's what my sister called me. My sister called me hater. Oh, so now first he go to sleep, then he hang up on me, Lady J. Oh, my fault. Lady J done hung up on him. Now I'm gonna have to talk about her flip phone. God damn it! I have to apologize to Shaka. Shaka, I am humbly and pitifully sorry. I thought it was you, but Lady J and that flip phone just hung up on us. And I'm kind of offended. How should I deal with it, Shaka?
So we can all sit around and be offended.
You say what?
I said we can all sit around and be offended.
That's true. That's true. It's so easy. You know what I'm saying?
What's that going to bring at the end of the day?
Oh, I don't know. But hey, so the proverb is, if you cannot find truth right where you are, where else do you expect to find it?
Well, the thing about what we had said before, and yes, I'm going to say this whole thing in character. The thing about it is, if you are accepting accountability for the things that you are responsible for, and you are giving yourself permission to grow. What?
Uh-oh. There's a but.
That is the difference between a boy and a man is accountability. And there's a lot of grown-ass boys out here pretending.
They ain't grown, they just big boned.
Hey, man. So, from one perspective, every failure can be a success if you learn from it.
There you go, trying to make sense. Now I'm going to have to hit on that. I really am going to have to hit on that. I'm just joking. That was pretty good.
Go ahead, Cletus.
That was pretty good, man. I can't hit on that. That's pretty good. Say it again.
No.
You said no. Oh, man. Oh.
Every failure.
It's kind of hard to repeat shit, ain't it?
It is. Every failure can be a success if you learn from it.
Yeah, very
but
true.
if you don't, what is it that causes us not to see that? What is it in that reality that you get out on stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you like, man, every time I touch the microphone, it's fire. Even when I had the flu, like Jordan, I'm on fire every day. And then, if that's the attitude you got, and you ain't trying to listen to nobody that thought that you suck, then how you gonna learn that, if you don't put yourself through that process, then all you represent is conceited mediocrity.
Gye-Nyame Journey says, where is truth outside of yourself as we've been well taught by the Western religion and practices? Since we have been taught to identify the truth outside ourselves, it's kind of hard for us to listen to where truth really flows from. So we could take a lot of false images, fake signals and shit. You know what I'm saying? I saw that one motherfucker in the back shaking his head while I was singing the song when everybody else was grabbing their ears, and I'm just going to focus on that dude in the back because he know the truth. And I got to go find him to see the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's like we constantly looking for shit that we don't need to be looking for. It's right here, family. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like people be telling me, man, Columbus is whack. I'm going to move somewhere else. And when they move to somewhere else, that somewhere else eventually becomes whack. You know what I'm saying? And it's not the fact that the place you are is whack. It's the fact that you are whack. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these are the subtle truths that the universe be trying to point out to us. You can't escape your habits. You can't escape that. You got to deal with that shit. You got to deal with the truth of it. You got to be able to look at it and extract the truth out of it. So as Shaka says, so that you can get the lesson. When we start getting the lesson, when we start accepting the lesson, only thing can we grow. Truth is the fertilizer in which we are able to grow. And like, I had to face the fact that I was never going to get a record deal when I was in my singing, when I was in my singing phase of my life. It was hard because I sounded good to myself in the shower. And I was going to come out with that album. You know what I'm saying? But I just didn't have the voice. But until I accepted that and stopped wasting time trying to be a singer, right? I was lost. Most of us are lost on our own account because we're not even looking at the goddamn map God gave us. The creator or whatever you choose to call. We're not looking at the map. We think that all the problems in our lives are coming from out there. When in fact, when we look at the truth of who we are, when we look right where we are in the spot where we are, right now, where you standing, look, where you sitting, right now, that's where the truth is. Face it. Look at it. Look in his face. It's not as fearsome as you think. Campbell. I can't remember his first name. He was a mythologist. Joseph Campbell. One of the quotes he's famous for, and I'm going to butcher it, but it says something along the lines of, when you go looking into those deep, dark places, you find something amazing. The quote is a lot better because he did it a lot better than that. But basically, it's like a lot of time the places where we fear to go, the things that the dragon that we are afraid to slay in our own lives, when we turn around and we face them, they become some of the greatest treasures that we could ever get. But we so scared of the initial prick here, because this one fits right in with this one. A thorn with which one has picked oneself of one's own accord does not pain. Many of us do not want to pick the thorns of who we are. We rather just bump into it every now and then and be like, damn, ouch! Ouch, damn, I'm standing too close to the thorn. You're the thorn. Your very existence is a thorn. Feel the pain. Face it. In the temples, in initiation, that's what it's supposed to force you to do. That's why it's so hard. It's not about arguing with people. It's about looking inside and realizing that your major competition, your major arch villain is looking you right back in the mirror. Many of us, we start building and then we turn around and start self-destructing because we wasn't supposed to have the success because we didn't come to terms with who we are. Man, you can't be letting me go off like that. You got it. Come on now. I'm supposed to be the co-pilot. What the fuck? I'm all off the path, man. We 500. We almost out of fuel, man. You got to turn the ship. I heard you had the organ on, man.
I sure did, buddy.
You gonna do it?
I sure did.
You gonna do a tune?
I might could do a tune tonight. You ain't gonna do a tune?
Yeah, I would love you to do. I mean, my people would love for you to do. Can I see some thumbs who would love to hear Brother Shaka do some music? Even though my speakers are horrible. I think I blew my speakers, man.
You know what? Something happened to my speakers too.
So,
yeah, we're gonna have to work it out.
We know what it is. You know, it's that COINTELPRO. That's what that shit is. They ain't got me fooled. You laughing? I don't shit.
Yes. know my birthday is Friday the 13th? Okay. Oh, y'all waiting for me to sing?
I mean, I thought that was part of the song, but shit, I was grooving. But go ahead, I'm sorry. You April 13th? You got to be April 13th because you're Aries.
Right. He's my age, my backbone since the beginning of time. My muse, my inspiration to deliver this rhyme. My illusion when reality I couldn't ingest. The face behind the cross tattooed on my chest. Reason why I could never settle for less. All the fuck kept me from time of stress. Straight to face whatever situation I'm handling. She's my absolute, with this wisdom measuring she. My winning ticket, I could never go broke off. The 7 days she was a light. When God spoke, she somewhat like a goddess for the battles you praise. Distant like a solstice with the equinox sang. She comes like a rhythm that delivers the vibe. From the snare to the kick, she's like a moment in time. I know she's real, my illusion. Yeah. I know she's real, my illusion. Whoa. I know she's legendary. Would you shine for me? Keep my people on the grind for me. Teach my daughter how a mind should be. I could be in a twinkle of an eye for me. If I was lost, would you be the first finding me? Take the wheel like Bonnie and Clyde for me. Keep the black Phoenix flying for me. If you feel it, press 9 for me. 9. Would you tell the brutal truth that aligned to me? In time, you see, ain't so many guys like me. Could you love what the others despise of me? Rock the center symbolize my dynasty. But you only have eyes for me. Over time, got toward to the side of me. Consciously making his constantly. Would you be front row singing lines with me? Break my lyrics down so the young mind can see the elevated soul inside of me. Life or death, would you be there in time for me? Or even travel in time for me? And in the end, when I die, don't cry for me. Just put a finger to the sky for me. To the sky for me. To the sky for me.
Give it up for Brother Shaka. Mastery, goddammit, that's what we talking about. All right, family, listen. I'm going to read this last proverb, then I'm going to let y'all go because I got to get ready for tomorrow. I got some calls that I have to make. I got some calls I have to return. You know what I'm saying? It's nation building is real around these parts, family, and it goes on 24/7 because my enemy is working 24/7, 7 days a week to make sure that I'm down. So I got to work at least 2 to 3 days a week to try to keep up. You know what I'm saying? So and I'm not by myself. If that's what's up, let me see some thumbs because some of y'all out there grinding. Some of y'all out there, my fault, we don't grind, we hustle. Because the hustle builds muscle. Yes, it does. The hustle builds the muscle. Right? Gye-Nyame original. But the last one is, heaven is under our feet. as well as over our heads. I'm going to let you go on and chew on that one overnight. And in the morning, for those of you that's going to join me, when we get up to toast at 5:15, when you get that black signal early in the morning, right? And I'm calling for black man or black woman to show up for the daily toast. I hope to see you standing there in your superhero pose, right? Ready to lift your glass and salute those whose shoulders upon which we stand. So as usual, I need to remind you that you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. This is a Heart of a Simple production. And of course, you know this has been Travel Quotes. God damn it, Simba. It was going... Man, listen. Mystical animals, man. This is a Heart of a Simple production. When we strive to blow up your old paradigms. Brother Shaka, you got it. Well, I just want you to know, Brother Dame is in town.
Brother who?
Dame Lee.
Is that right?
Yeah, Brother Dame Lee is in town. I'm gonna hook up with him tomorrow. But you got any final words for the family before we get up and get out?
No, I think I'll account that song as final words, yo.
Okay, and that was my illusion. Go ahead, dude. Even with my speaker fucking up, you sounded good. That's what I'm talking about. And family, he might pop up during the Malcolm X Festival. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make something happen. You know what I'm saying? You know, so but hey, this is Brother Hatim. I want to thank each and every last one of you. And with that, we are out.
Peace.
Peace.